Very good morning. Today we are going to see little, you can say, ahead of what you can see real-time manipulator. So hereafter we would be seeing more, you can say, manipulator, real manipulator coming into a picture. So in the sense we are moving forward. So this particular lecture is going to focus on frame arrangement and a few examples how we can arrange a frame for a given manipulator. So that is what the whole idea about this particular lecture. So for that the prerequisite is actually like lecture 6 and a few recap which I have done in last few, you can say, video lectures. Okay, so in that sense we will actually go forward. So the very common one, so sometimes I would be using external resources, so that's why this particular disclaimer is here. So now we would be seeing, I already mentioned, so we are going to talk about frame arrangement and a few examples we are going to see. So I am taking few examples in the sense of 5 of the popular, you can say, configurations I have taken here for understanding the frame arrangement. Okay, so we'll see, move forward on this. So we'll actually like see that, so how it goes. So the frame arrangement means what we have actually like multiple bodies, okay, and multiple joints. So how each joint would be associated and how the body would be represented and how we will actually get the information from one to another. That is what the whole idea. So in that sense, the first thing we have to be very clear that, so the joint axis, whatever you call the motion, so motion between two links, all happened on the joint, in the sense that is a constraint. So in the sense the joint, what you call the joint is actually like nothing but related to a, you can say, z axis. In the sense the joint parameter would be the variable, either one of them would be variable as per the Danavitt-Attenberg. So that joint axis we are fixing it in a z axis. So in the sense the first key point is joint axis supposed to be assigned to z axis of the corresponding frame. Then where the position of the frame, that is actually like one of the big question will come, right? So for that what we are seeing that the fixing the frame location is the bigger question. So for that there are two sub cases. So one is actually like zi and zi plus 1, how it goes, okay, or zi and zi plus 1 are actually like parallel. So if these two are actually like intersecting, or if it is parallel, then there are two subclasses. If it is intersecting, it is very easy, wherever the intersecting point. For example, this is what zi and this is what your zi, you can say zi plus 1. So where this intersecting, this is the frame called I. Okay. So for example, the other case you can take, this is zi and you can see this is zi plus 1. You can see that the intersection happened nowhere, right? Because it is actually like happening. But if you are actually like transferring this parallelity here, you can see this is the intersecting point. So in the sense that is the ith frame. If these two are actually like parallel, so then you have a common normal several locations, right? Then we can choose appropriate what we have to take on the zi axis, that is what the ith frame. So now you can see that the fixing the frame location, you got a clarity. So that's what I said, if these two are intersecting at some point, then that intersection is the frame location. If that intersection is not happening, then you can actually like move across on the single plane where that intersection will happen. That is again would be the frame I. If these two are parallel, then there is actually like several possibility. Then we have to take appropriately where the point we can choose. So that is what we are going to call the frame location. So now you know what we have done. The first thing is we have done the joint axis. So whatever the manipulator coming, so the manipulator joins, or you can say the two bodies, how it is actually like relatively moving, that particular axis you call z axis. Then you have to fix the frame. So the frame arrangement, you can see the intersecting point, or you can say take a convenient point as the zi axis. So then what the next one, so the zi and zi plus 1 is known, but xi is unknown, right? Because as per the Danavitt-Attenberg, we would be talking about z and x. So the z is coming, so the x is supposed to be come. So in that sense, if I talk about xi or xi minus 1, so then you have to see zi minus 1 and zi, how they are relatively each other. If these two are parallel, so you can actually like see the common normal direction. If these two are actually like intersecting, or it is actually like associated with a single plane, the plane containing this, the normal to the plane is the axis of you call xi, and it would be progressing side you have to take conveniently, because the link length cannot be, you can say, negative. This is not possible. So the link length can be positive or 0. In the sense the xi, you can say -1 direction should be progressing side. Okay, so that is the next point. The link length cannot be negative, so the direction of xi should be properly assigned. So these are the key role. Okay, and further key role did not mention here, since we are talking about we are going to see the DH representation matrix or ARM matrix with non-standard. In the sense you would be having n-axis robot, so then you have n plus 2 frames. In the sense 0th frame start and n plus 1 frame is the tool frame. This is tool center point and this is the base frame. Okay, so in the sense what you have to see, the base and then end. So these are the important thing. So in the sense you can actually make it. And more or less in the last live class I told, so conveniently you have to take alpha as multiples of 90, and if theta is actually a constant, that also you take it multiples of 90. Okay, so I am putting x is the multiple, so this is multiples of 90. Okay, so x is actually greater than or equal to 0, then it actually x is actually 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So that is what the idea. Okay, so you got a clarity now, right? So now we'll actually move forward. We'll take one such example. So you can see that this is one of the example, which is one of the common manipulator configuration, which is what we call articulated robotic manipulator. And we will see the n-axis robot. So you have n-axis robot, in that the first three axes in the sense 1 to 3 axes are actually predominantly taking care of the position. Okay, so in the sense these 3 axes we call major axis. So in the sense the major axis have several possibility. It can be a simple all 3 are prismatic joint, or one prismatic joint can be converted into rotary joint, or we can actually convert it to. Then you can see that the other cases also can come. So then it can be RPP or RP or RP. Okay, then you can see that RRR. Okay, there are several configurations are available. So we'll see one of the popular one, which is we call articulated manipulator. So that would be having all rotary joint. So now you can see that this is the base and this is what the first body. This is the base I call 0, and this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. And you can see that this is the motor, and this is another motor, and this is another motor. Now this motor is rotating like this. So in the sense this is what the you can say Z1 axis, and this motor is rotating like this. So this is Z2 axis, and this motor is rotating like this. So this is Z3 axis. So in the sense what you have taken or the first rule, assign the joint axis to Z axis. So we have 3 joint axes. So where theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 are variables. So these 3 we have fixed with Z1, Z2, Z3. Okay, so now we have to see the convenient point of you call location of your frame, and I already told we are going to follow the what so called non-standard form, in that sense n plus 2 frame. So right now you have 3 active joints, so you have plus 2. So one is actually base here and one is end effector. Okay, so in the sense what we have taken, the base joint is actually base frame is known, and your end effector frame also known. I put end effector is a E. Okay, so just to give an idea. So now you can see that these are fixed. So how it is going? So the first joint is actually going like this, second joint is going like this, and third joint is going like this, and it is progressing, right? So in the sense you can see that the Z1 and Z2 are intersecting. So this is your point called 1, and Z2 and Z3 are parallel. So then you can see 2 somewhere convenient on Z2. I am fixing on the same frame, and Z3 and the tool frame is actually intersecting somewhere. So I put that is 3. Okay, so now you can see 0, 1, 2, 3 are fixed. So in the sense you can see the distance between these two, I am just calling just L1, and this distance I am calling L2, and this distance I am calling L3. Okay, so just to give a clarity. So now what we can actually see, we have to fix x0, we have to fix x1, x2 and x3, and similarly we have to fix z0. Okay, so I'm actually like conveniently taking the z0 as parallel to z1 because that is the convention. The vertically going upward is your vertical axis, and this is what your x-axis. But right now x-axis we cannot straight away taken, but as per the rule here you can see z1 and z0 are parallel, so I can conveniently take whatever the preference of x0 I can take. So in the sense x0 I fix it. But when coming to x1, so you have to see two things. So you have to see z1 and you can see z2. So z1 and z2 are intersecting. So then the x1 axis is supposed to be the rotating axis. So you can see then, so this is the plane which is actually like enhousing this z1 and z2. So whatever the, you can say normal to that to progressing side, that is what your x1 side. So this is what your x1. And z2 and z3 are parallel, so you can take conveniently x2 like this. And we don't have actually like z4, so I'm just taking z4 is like this. Okay, so then you can see that the intersecting axis is here. So then you have to take the normal to the plane consisting of z3 and z4. So in the sense it's supposed to be come like this. But if I take, you can say z4, if I take z4 like this, then you can conveniently take x3 like this, right? So these are the things we supposed to do. I hope you got it somewhere clarity. So I am just seeing that what I have done. So I have fixed, this is 0th frame, and this is actually like 1 and 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, so I have taken conveniently my end effector z4 is conveniently here, and z0 is like this, and I am taking z1 is here, and z2 is here, and z3 is here. So now what I have to choose? I have to choose x. So z1 and z2 are parallel. I can take whatever the convenient. So I am taking the convenient like this. So and z2 and z1 are intersecting. So that is the point of frame. And the plane normal to this, or you can say normal to this plane, is the x-axis, and progressing side this. So this is x1. And z2 and z3 are parallel. So I am taking the same direction as, you can say x1 as x2. And z3 and z4 also parallel, so I am taking the same direction as x3. And since z4 actually like parallel to z3 and there is no progressing, so I am just taking as a convenience. So x0 and x4 are parallel. So that's what you can see here. You can say z0 and z4 are actually like different, but x0 and x4 are parallel, and this is the way we have done. So now coming to the DH parameter. Okay, so what we can see, I am just going up. So what we can see that, so we have to make the table. So I am taking the 4 joints. Okay, so what are the things? So I have first done alpha I minus 1, then ai minus 1, then theta I and di, and you have ith frame. So I am starting 1 frame, 2 frame, and 3 frame. If you need, you can add the 4th one. Okay, if you want to reach till the tool, then you can add the 4th one. So right now the first frame, so the alpha I minus 1 realize what? So the angle between zi minus 1 and zi, you can see about xi minus 1. So in the sense x1, first you can see x0, and you rotate z1, or you can say z0 parallel to z1. Already these two are parallel, so there is no rotation. Okay, and you have to see ai minus 1 is actually like realized on xi minus 1 axis, where the frame I minus 1 to I the distance, right? So in the sense you can see, so 0 and 1 are distance apart, but along x0 there is no distance, so 0. And you can see that the theta I realized on, you can say zi, but it is actually like the angle between xi minus 1 to xi. So here you can see the x0 to x1 is theta 1, so that you can see. So here the theta 1 is variable. So although it's a 0 angle, you can say home position, but that is a joint variable, so I can take that is theta 1. Okay, which is variable, I'm just showing with the star. So further what you can see, so you have to see the 4th one, that is di. So di again realized with you can say zi, in the sense along zi, where the frame you can say 0 and 1 distance, how it is. So in the sense 0 and 1 along, you can say Z1, the distance is D1, so this is the D1. Okay, so similarly we can come to alpha, you can say 2 minus 1, in the sense alpha 1. You can see that this is the x-axis direction, and it is actually like the Z1 is rotated like this, in the sense 270 degree. Okay, so 270 degree rotated, so that Z1 parallel to Z2, that is we have done. And there is no distance 1 to 2 along x1, and since the Z2 is actually like a new axis that is having a variable, so then this is actually like theta 2 star, and there is no distance along Z2, so that is 0. So now coming to third frame, so 2 to 3, there is a actually like a no, you can say joint axis rotation, because these two are parallel, so that is 0, so I put 0 degree. Then you can see that the second one, yes, distance along x2, there is a distance that what we call a2, and what you can see that the Z3 is the joint axis, and that is having active motor, so then the theta 3 star is there, and you can see that there is no distance along Z3, so that is 0. So similarly you can extend, and you can see this is 0 degree, and this is a3, and this is actually like there is no active joint, 0, and this is also 0. Okay, so this is what we can see. This is what the DH parameter what we have obtained. This is, we are writing in radians, so 270 degree is 3 pi by 2, and these 3 are variable, and this is another joint you can say distance, and these two are link length. Okay, so you can realize here in the slide, you can see that this is a joint distance, because the motor shaft distance, this is actually like this is a motor and the shaft length is joint distance, but here you can see that the motor shaft is connected with a link that is rotatable. This is entire body is rotating, that's what it is called link length. Okay, so in the sense this is we have obtained. So now we can actually like see what would be the transformation matrix based on the arm matrix. You substitute, and this is the first transformation matrix. The sense the first frame with respect to 0 you got it, then the second frame with respect to 1 you got it, and the third frame with respect to second you got it, and finally you get the tool which is actually like 4 with respect to 3. So now you want to know the fourth frame with respect to 0, you know, like it is simply multiplication of all this transformation matrix, sorry 1 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, right? So that is what we can do in the next stage, that is we are actually like skipping it. So now you can actually like see this is the way we can arrange the frame, and this is the way we can actually like obtain the DH parameter. So this is very straightforward example. We will see few more example, and then we can actually like see how we can do. So for understanding this, we have taken the second example. The second example is actually like RR manipulator. So you can see this is PRR manipulator, where you can see that this is what we can see. I think there is one slide is missing. Yeah, so we'll come back that with next slide. We can see before that, whereas there is one another manipulator we can see. So this is the base joint, okay, and there is one motor associated, and the second motor is attached here, and there is a translated motor, in the sense linear motor is attached. So in the sense you can fix it. So this is Z1, and this is Z2, and this is Z3. Okay, so the Z3 direction you can take it this way or that way, we can choose, but right now you can see these are the joint axes, and you know, like we have to fix the 0th frame, and we have to fix the tool frame we call end effector, and you have to fix the 1 and 2. You can see here the conveniently I can take here as 1, that is possible, because Z0 I am taking a parallel to Z1, so then the 1 frame supposed to be along with Z1, and these two are not intersecting, these two are parallel, so I can take conveniently anywhere on this line. Okay, so then there is a point which is actually like Z2 and Z3 are parallel, so then I can take conveniently like this, and similarly you can see Z2 and Z3 are actually like parallel, and there is a Z4 also coming, so we can see anywhere we can actually like see it. But the third joint is actually like active joint, so the frame supposed to be at the end of this, so I'm actually like conveniently taking the Z3, sorry, the Z3 as in this form. So in the sense I'm taking the Z3 is like this and taking the point is here. Okay, so in the sense what I'm doing, I'm just taken this is Z0 and this is 1 and this is what your Z1 and this is Z2, this Z3. Okay, so now you got it. So now I'm actually like seeing what should be done. So we have to get the x1, x0, x2 and x3, right? So what is the x0 case? So it should be actually like check whether these two axes called z1 and z0 are parallel. If it is parallel, then you can choose the x0 direction is as per our convenience. So I'm taking this is what x0, and similarly x1 is again it is parallel, but you can actually like take it the progressing side. So I'm taking the progressing side as this, and similarly you can see z2 and z3 are parallel, so I'm taking the progressing side. And here you can see that there is no further, so I'm taking x3 as parallel to x0. Okay, so now you can see that we have to come to the you call the DH parameter. We can actually like realize the DH parameter like this. So I'm just taking this ith one, this is alpha I minus 1, this is ai minus 1, and this is theta I, and this is di. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3 are the frame. So 0 to 1, is there any rotation about x? No. And there is no distance along x0, right? And the z1 is actually like active joint, so the theta 1 is coming, and there is a distance along z1, that is I'm calling d1. Okay, then what you can see that the second axis, so second axis in the sense second frame, which is 2 and this is 3. So the 2 is actually like distance apart along x1, and there is no angle rotation along or about x1, and distance is actually like I call that is a1. Okay, so this distance I'm calling a1, and what you can see, this is again an active joint, so then that is a theta 2, and there is no vertical distance here, so that is 0. Now coming to the second to third, you can see that about x2 it is rotated 180 degree, so in the sense pi, and there is a distance which is actually like you can see 2 to 3 along x2, that distance I'm calling a2. And you can see that the same thing like z2 to z3, there is a you can say angle, because this is not active joint, so there is no angle, so you can see that is 0. But you can see that there is actually like active joint along you can say z3, so that is d3. So this is what we can do here. You can see that this is the frame arrangement which we have done earlier. So you can see this frame arrangement is slightly different what we have done. So we have chosen even z1 and z2, sorry, z0 and z1 here itself. Okay, so in that case you can see that this vertical distance supposed to be covered for the second frame. That's the only difference. So in the sense what we have done, so we have done 1 and 0 here and 2 here, and this is what 3 what we have done earlier. So this is 1, sorry, this is 0 and this is 1 and this is 2. Okay, so now we can cross check that what the DH parameter here coming. So the DH parameter is like this. Only thing the D2 appeared in the second row, whereas in the first configuration we have got as D1. That nothing going to get changed. When you are getting the final one where you call like you can say T, you can say 3 with respect to 0, you will automatically get this. So 0, 1, 1, 2 and 2, 3, the final matrix it would come as per the required way. You can actually like cross check. Okay, so these are the way. So now you can see that the further one what we have seen, this is another way. The SCARA robot, I think a replicate. So this is the way we can multiply and get it. So this is what you call the kinematic solution of that final equation. You can see this is the equation which is x, this is y, and this is z of the end effector with respect to 0. In the sense this is E0 and this is E0 and this is E0. Okay, So you can cross check once you obtain this kinematic solution. You can actually like see the home position, where the home position theta 1 is 0, theta 2 is 0, and d3 as d3 and d2 as d2. So if that is the case, you can see that z2, or you can say x3 and x0 are parallel, in the sense it's supposed to be 1 0 0. You can cross check, this is giving 1 0 0 for the home position. Whereas y axis is actually like on the z axis. Okay, so in the sense you can see the z3, you can see this is what you call y3, and this is what your y0, and y3 and y0 is opposite direction. You can substitute 0 for theta 1 and theta 2. You can see this is giving 0 minus 1 0. And final one, you can see that z3 is actually like parallel to z0, but it is actually like opposite direction. You can see that is why it is minus 1. And when you substitute home position, you can see that the x position is actually like a1 plus a2. You substitute theta 1 and theta 2 is 0. It is giving a1 plus a2. And y-axis displacement 0. You can see that is 0. And z-axis displacement is actually like d2 minus d3. That is uptime. Okay. So like that you can cross check, and we move forward. So where this is the you call spherical robotic manipulator, where RRP is there. So here also you can see this is the base and this is the end. I call this is 0, and this is actually like E, and this is what I call Z0 axis, and this is what I call Z, you can say E axis. And further what you can see, this is your joint axis 1, this is joint axis 2, and this is joint axis 3. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to find the x-axis. So the x-axis you can find with respect to z0 and z1. Since these two are parallel, I can take x0 is parallel, and z2 and z3 are intersecting, and the normal to that is what your x1 and the progressing side. And you can see z2 and z3 are actually like not parallel, and the intersecting you can say the plane containing z2 and z3 are this. So then the axis is supposed to be vertically up or down. So I'm taking x2 as going like this. So since this is the case, I can actually like even get this point as the third frame, and this I can actually like take it x3. Okay, so like that you can do, and you can get it. So in the sense what you got it, so this is what you are z0 and x0, and this is the point you have z1 and x1, and just to give difference, this is z2, and this is your x2, and this is what your z3, and this is what your x3. Okay, so like that you can get it. So now in the sense, what are the DH parameter? The 1 2 3. So alpha would be this, and this is A and theta and D. Okay, so now the first alpha, you can see that there is no rotation, so 0 degree, and there is no displacement along x0, so that is 0. But the first joint is active, so theta 1 is there, and there is a vertical displacement d1 is there. Okay, so then the second frame, you can see that there is a rotation. So the rotation is actually like 270 degree, so that is actually like 3 pi by 2, and there is no translation along x-axis, so that is 0. And what happened, this is active joint, that is actually like happened, so that is theta 2, and there is no distance between 1 and 2 frame. So in the sense you can see that this is what the case. Okay, so now you can actually like see the third one. So the third one is actually like you can see it's a vertical displacement obviously, so d3 is active, and you can see that 2 to 3 here actually like you can see I have missed one thing. So where x2 and x1 are actually like about z2, so it is actually like you can see this is the direction, it is actually like rotated 270 degree, in the sense theta 2 is a variable but plus 270 degree, in the sense 3 pi by 2 as added. So since here it is actually like parallel along, you can say x3, and along z3 it is parallel, and here actually like you can see you are rotating about this like this. So in the sense you have 3 pi by 2, and this is actually like there is no distance. Okay, so in order to give much more clarity, we have actually like taken like this, which is easy for us to understand. So what I'm doing is I'm actually like vertically taking up. So in the sense, so this is what my first, you can say Z0, and this is what my Z1, and this is what Z2, and I know this is a rotatable axis. I'm actually like rotating that, and I'm keeping Z3. So in the sense, Z0, Z1, Z3 are parallel, and this is actually like my theta 2, and this is what my theta 1, and this is what my d3 as the variable. Okay, so in that case it is very easy to see. So the way which we have done is one approach, and this is another way which is easiest. So I gave one simple method, and this is more simpler than that. So here you can see that the alpha easily we can realize. Okay, that is the idea. So we can actually like get this way, and you can get the alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and all. So these are the way we can actually like get it. Okay, so similarly we can go the cylindrical robot. You can see here. So now you can see this is what your 0th frame, and this is what the end frame, and you can actually like fix it Z0, and you can say Z1 parallel, and you can see this is the moving point, that is actually like I can fix it. So that is Z2, and you can see this is what your Z3. Okay, so in the sense you can see Z0 and 1. Okay, and Z2 I'm keeping it further this end. Okay, and then I'm taking Z3. So this is my displacement d3, and this is the displacement d2, and this is the theta 1. Okay, so like that we can actually like achieve, and we can actually like go forward. Okay, so now we can actually like move forward. This is what I have done here, and you can actually like see that theta 1, you can say d2, d3 are variable, you can get it. So now when you want to have the Danavit-Artenberg parameters, so I assume that these are the thing 1, 2, 3, and these are the parameter, and you can see alpha 1 there is, so alpha I minus 1, in the sense alpha 0 is 0 in this case, and there is no distance along x0, so that is 0, and you can see that x-axis displacement nothing is there, but x-axis rotation also nothing there, but z-axis rotation there is one variable, and there is no distance from 0 to 1. Okay, when you come to z2 to z1, so there is no displacement along x, no rotation about x, and there is no variable, so x-axis are parallel, so 0, and there is a distance d2, right? So similarly you can go further. You can see the x2 is the rotational axis, whereas this is actually like rotated this way. So you can see that this is rotated 270 degree, so it's my 3 pi by 2, and you have a translation along x, no, and you have a variable x, no, because x2 and x3 are parallel, and you have d3 is the variable. So like that you can actually like go further, and you can get it, right? So like that you can get it, and even you can get the individual transformation matrix, and you can multiply and you go forward. Okay, so now I am actually like going little fast, because this we can do in a discussion stage. So this is the way final matrix comes. So now we'll move forward. So move forward in the sense I am taking the Cartesian manipulator. You can see that although this is the base point, but we cannot take that into a case. Why? Because you can see that the first translation is happening in this direction. So in the sense your z1 axis here, your z2 axis here, and your z3 axis here. So you know, like, so this is what the distance which is you call d1, and this is what the distance which you have realized, so that is d2, and this is the distance which is called d3, and this is what z3. In the sense you have to take the 0th frame here, not in here. Okay, so now this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. So then you can see that the x-axis is supposed to be here, and I can actually like take, so this is z0 and this is x0, and you can see that 270 degree I rotated, so that z0 is parallel to z1, and here I can see that these two are the plane which is containing. So in the sense this is the plane it is containing, so I can take x1 here, and you can see this is the plane it is containing. I can take x2 here, and I can make it, you can see, a parallel to x0. So in the sense I can see the frame in this way. So I can see the frame I have arranged like this. So now you can easily get this D naught will not come into a picture in your DH parameter, that you can simply add at the end. Okay, because your Z1 is in this direction, so you can simply add this D naught into your Z axis displacement. That is straightforward. Okay, so with that we can actually like go forward, and these are the cases, and these are the you call some of the example which we have seen. And I am not actually like going further. We'll see in very recap with one simple manipulator. Randomly we take from one of the commercial manipulator, and we will actually like make a frame diagram along that as a recap video. So this is just to give an idea how we can fix a frame. So one idea you should be very clear. So you have to be very clear that this I minus 1 need to be fixed. So that would be depend on Zi minus 1 and Zi. Okay, so in the sense whatever the plane containing these two axes, the x-axis is supposed to be normal to that plane. If these two are parallel, then you can choose any of the other two axes as x-axis, but the preference, or you can say the right perspective, is progressing side you have to put the positive direction of xi minus 1. And the second thing is wherever the joint axis, the joint axis is supposed to be associated with z axis. Okay, so with that I'm actually like taking forward, and the alpha and theta supposed to be realized with the right hand rule. The positive rotation is based on the right hand rule. Okay, so these are all the cases I want you to get to know. So with that we are actually like done at this time, and we can actually like see probably in the next lecture. Right now we will actually like close this particular session. See you, bye bye, take care.